is the energy system. Now we are going to look at the different types of energy system. So we primarily have three types of energy system. Three types of energy system. The first type of energy system is called ATP-CP system. It's not ATP system. Many people say that that's wrong. ATP-CP system. The other name for ATP-CP system is creatine phosphate system. Phosphate system, or it's also called phosphagen system. I want you to tell me the phosphagen system, okay, instead of calling ATP-CP system and all that. So this first system, which is called the ATP-CP or creatine phosphate or phosphagen system, uses creatine phosphate as the energy fuel for this. Okay.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, somebody has muted me. Please don't mute me. Please mute yourself. Okay. So the first energy system is the creatine phosphate system, where the fuel for this energy system is creatine phosphate, which we manufacture in the human body. So whenever you break up this creatine phosphate, it liberates energy. And you know the what happens is ATP in the body, whenever you need fuel, is broken down into ADP plus P, and it liberates energy. And this is a renewable process, where if somebody loans me energy, I can turn this into ATP once again, and I can keep going on and on like this. So what happens is whenever I break up creatine and phosphate, it liberates energy, and this energy is used to resynthesize, make another ATP for me. So this is a fantastic process. And when I have creatine phosphate, it can liberate a lot of ATP. I can generate a lot of ATP in a very short period of time. So the peak is very high with this. I can generate a lot of ATP. But the problem is the amount of creatine phosphate that I have in the body is very, very less. How much? If I use it to the full potential, it only lasts for about 10 seconds or so. The peak is about 3 seconds. So I use this when I require a lot of ATP, like those activities which require a lot of energy, like shot put, javelin throw, very heavy weight training. Okay, like for example, I'm doing squats with only 3 repetition, 5 repetition. Those kind of activities will use ATP-CP system. The second type of energy system that we have is called anaerobic glycolytic system, where I will use glucose or glycogen. Glycogen is the storage format of glucose in the human body. When I use glucose or glycogen in the anaerobic format, meaning not using a lot of oxygen, I get this energy system. Now, this energy system where I use glucose or glycogen, this system is called anaerobic glycolytic system. I get ATPs, but not to the level of what I got with the ATP-CP system or creatine phosphate system. It's a little lesser than that. And also, here, what happens is whenever I use glucose or glycogen anaerobically, I generate a byproduct called as lactic acid, which gives me a burn and makes me stop. What made me stop in the creatine phosphate system, the first system, I ran out of creatine phosphate. I had to resynthesize. I had to wait for 2 to 5 minutes for me to recover, resynthesize creatine phosphate. Whereas in the anaerobic glycolytic system, it's the lactic acid which is giving me the burn, and that's why I stop. The third energy system is called aerobic oxidative system, where I'm going to use oxygen and fat mostly. I can use glucose also. Percentage wise, I'll use a lot of fat, and I'm going to generate ATP from this, which can keep going on and on and on and on. So the examples of exercises for aerobic system would be jogging, walking, cycling, anything which is done for long duration but with lesser intensity would be aerobic oxidative system. And what's an example of activities for anaerobic glycolytic system? Your push-ups and pull-ups and things like that, where I want to do many repetitions, but I cannot do beyond something like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so The examples of activities for ATP-CP system would be shot put, javelin throw, anything with very high intensity, but shorter duration, only 30 seconds work. Whereas with the anaerobic glycolytic system, I can do about 2 to 3 minutes, but I get flooded with lactic acid, makes me stop. Example is your push up and pull up, and mostly what you do in your fitness center resistance training work. Whereas aerobic oxidative system keeps me going on and on and on and on for long duration, like walking, jogging, cycling, anything like that, like these cardiorespiratory exercises.